Hello everyone, this is me. I'm back again with a new video, but this time I'll discuss a magnificent topic that relates to my study. Let's get started and give you more info about it. A few weeks ago, my dog Maria, one of the Department of University of Hassanuddin, Faculty of Dentistry, asked me to do the video about the direct and indirect restoration because I'm still in my country and my class have been doing the practicum lab in their country. So that's why I'm gonna show you and share it with you all info about the direct and indirect restoration, and thank you so much Dr. Maria for giving me the chance to do this. So let's start my show. As you know, a direct and indirect restoration is a type of conservative treatment for either deep caries or dental accident. First of all, I'm give you a few points about both, and later we'll talk more about it and show you a quick video about the direct and indirect restoration. The first is indirect restoration. I know most of you gonna ask me why I'm starting with the indirect restoration than direct restoration. But there are a lot of dentists prefer doing the indirect restoration, because 9 times out of 10 of the patient came to the clinic with a lot of damage of their teeth. But for us, it's never too late for doing something to help you or make you feel better about it. And in this type of restoration depends on the technician, because it couldn't be only fabricated inside the patient mouth and we just prepare it or reduce it the teeth in the clinic, and the lab technician is doing the rest of the job. And here are some examples of indirect restoration. First, we can just say crown, bridge, inlay, onlay, and also implant. And there are a lot of types of it, but today I'm gonna discuss about or talk about most of those. However, it takes 2 dental appointments to place an indirect restoration, and some will take more. So, as you see in this picture, there is a type of indirect restoration I have been mentioning. First is inlay, and this is how it look, and onlay, and this is a full crown. And here it came to the preparation of indirect restoration. For onlay restoration, working and non-working cusps are covered with at least 1.5 to 2 mm. As you see in the first picture, a strong reduce it for the occlusion surface by using the chamfer pair, and also in the third picture start reducing from the proximal box or proximal contact. It's about 1 to 2 mm. Okay. The principle of cavity preparation for aesthetic inlay or onlay differ from those for gold restoration. For aesthetic inlay or inlay restoration, bevels and retention form are not needed. Resistant form is currently not necessary. The internal line angle are around that minimum aesthetic weight is 2 mm, and the minimal depth thickness is 1.5, as it shown in the picture in front of you. Let's just move now to the material that used for indirect restoration. First, we can just use a ceramic or porcelain. Second is metal ceramic or metal porcelain. Third is a cast gold, a high noble alloy. Fourth is a basic metal alloy, which is a non-noble alloy. Now, it's a comparison about the direct and indirect restoration. First, the direct restoration. The direct restoration, the most popular restoration are composite, which is filling. which restore a small to medium area of the tooth decay. However, the composite bonding is another technique that uses composite resin to repair a small or medium crack, as well as it fill the gap between the teeth. On the other hand, the indirect restoration could not be fabricated in the patient mouth. Instead, indirect restoration are fabricated outside the patient mouth, which is in dental laboratory for a technician. What is the difference between the direct and indirect restoration? Well, both types of dental restoration are allowed for a range of restoration options. In the most cases, direct restoration are used to restore a small to a medium area of damage or decay. However, the large area, for sure, it's gonna be for indirect restoration. And also, the indirect restoration is used in the case where it's a goal to enhance the aesthetic of the smile to the patient's mouth. Now, let's just move to talk about the direct restoration. Well, the direct restoration is referred to any restoration that can be entirely fabricated directly inside the patient mouth due to a single dental appointment. In this case, we can use the composite resin because it's more aesthetic and easy to fabricate. And it's strong for some people and have a great bonding with the tooth structure. And also it can be lasting about the 5 or 7. It takes more than 5 or 7 years before we need to replace it again. Now let's just move on to the type of direct restoration material. Well, the most common use in the material it's filling, and there are a lot of type of fillings. First off, we always prefer to choose the composite type. Why we always using composite? Because composite is one of the most perfect filling that we can use it for all teeth, posterior, interior, depends on the caries or depends on the reduction of the tooth. It can be fabricated very well, and there are a lot of types from it. One of it is A1, A2, A3, A3.5, and also P1, P2, P3, and also we have flowable and binder. All these are composite and it can be cured by the light cure. And as I mentioned, there are a type of composite that it can be choose depends on the teeth or the color teeth of the patient mouth. And second, GIC. This is a type of filling that we always can use it as a temporary filling after RCT, or we can just use this GIC in the cement for a crown or bridge, or also we can just put it for a pulp capping or pulpectomy for pedo or pediatric. Okay, GIC, it stands for glass enamel cement. This type we always use it for RCT restoration or fairing restoration, but we not prefer it so much because it's not strong enough as just the composite. The third one is amalgam, and this type unfortunately we're not using anymore because it takes a lot of tooth reduction or tooth preparation, and at the end of the day there are a lot of people have allergy from this material that we can use it in the amalgam. Now we move to a quick video about the direct and indirect restoration, and I'm gonna show you the demonstration of composite first as a direct restoration and the type of indirect restoration. Okay, first we start preparing the tooth by reducing it, just as you see in front of you, and then we put the matrix to build up the missing wall of the tooth and fix it with the wedge. After on, we put the bonding on the surface of the tooth and applied the layer of composite. As I mentioned, you start to build up the wall of the tooth, then we just remove the matrix to continue build up the rest of the tooth. And don't forget to always using the light cure to cure the composite. And then remove the excess of the composite by using the round and fissure on this pair to get the right look of the tooth. Eventually, this is the tooth it look like after we use a composite at the shape of the same of the tooth to the patient. Now we just move to indirect restoration. Well, all the indirect restoration are doing the same thing. After replacing or just replacing to the tooth structure depends on how much tooth structure are lost and depends of the type of restoration that we're gonna use on it. First, we're gonna start with inlay. This type of restoration are fit into the groove and fissure on the teeth. Can be made of porcelain or ceramic. Sometimes are made of gold or metal to fit into the tooth. They're not so hard because of the tooth. Second or next, which is CC, which is a full casting crown. As you note, there is no porcelain in the structure of the tooth or crown. They can be made. Their either requires of the tooth structure 1.5 to 2 millimeter. It's covering the inner tooth, mostly are high noble alloy. Next are porcelain fused metal. Had the metal substructure make it stronger and good aesthetic because it's covered by porcelain or ceramic, which are made this type of restoration are coming to use because it's strong, as I mentioned before, and made for a good aesthetic and covered by porcelain or crown for all the surface, the outside the surface. Next is bridge BFM, which is porcelain fused to metal. It contains one or more than one tooth and touches the porcelain together, and one of them it have boss and core, which is abutment. That's all. Next is veneers. Veneers are typically porcelain or ceramic. They replace the facial and incisal surface and sometimes the lingual surface of the tooth. And this veneer looks like it's meant as a crown or bridge. It's much aesthetic for restoration. One of the much aesthetic restoration at all. And there are a lot of people prefer to do it. But the problem is that sometimes it's required to reduce the 1.5 to 2 millimeter of the surface of the tooth. And there are a lot of people who have allergy on their tooth, but it's going to be quite hard for them to do it. But aesthetically, it's perfect. The last thing is onlay. Onlay cover at least one cusp of the patient. Will have some tooth structure and some area are in front only. Sit and cover at least one or more cusp, and sometimes recover a corner crown, which is lingual and occlusion, and have some of the buccal surface. We can just say a quarter of the tooth, and sometimes instate the edge of the buccal surface. And next is the conclusion about the direct and indirect restoration. A corner ceramic. Eventually, the conclusion about our topic today. The direct and indirect restoration provide the various choice for restoration damaged or decayed teeth. Having a dentist aspect your teeth and make suggestions is the best way to know which which form of dental restoration is suitable for you. The direct restoration can be fully manufactured and finished inside the patient mouth without needing for a dental laboratory. On the other hand, the indirect restoration must be created outside the patient mouth before being mounted on the artificial tooth. A few simple about it, we can just say crown, I have been mentioned before, and bridge, and dental implants only and online and veneer. And also dental film made of silver amalgam or composite resin, I have been mentioned it, are the most popular direct restoration. The film are also used for fill a cavity in the teeth that have developed due to the decay. However, indirect restoration have more surface area than direct restoration and can restore teeth with more severe decay or damage. They are often made of various dental material that offer extra tooth protection. I think that's all of our showing today, and I hope you get benefit from our video, and thank you so much for your patience and attention. And if you have any question, please don't be hesitate to text me. Thank you. I'll see you next time, and bye bye.